Welcome back, guys. We're here with EJ Moreland from Real Time Worlds, the developers that brought you the original Crackdown. They're here to show us their new project, APB, a cops and robbers style MMO. Dave, take us to the mean streets of APB.
So EJ, for those of us who are not in the know or haven't seen the E3 demo, can you just give a basic overview of what APB is?
Certainly. It's a new breed of online action game where we have two distinct factions in the city that's in the middle of unrest. We have the enforcement, which encompasses both law enforcement, corporate entities, things like that, as well as the criminals, with more the destabilizing entity involved in the city. And the idea is that we have three distinct key areas we want to focus on. We have creativity, so the players can uniquely express themselves. We have the conflict with the matchmaking and the actual high action gameplay. And then we also have the celebrity, which is the fame and fortune that goes along with both of those.
Cool. So I guess let's just touch upon each one of those.
Okay.
So the first aspect, I mean, we've seen a lot of crazy hairdos in this game. We've seen a lot of tattoos. I mean, can you just take me through the level of customization that people have?
It's absolutely incredible. You actually start off with your body customization. You're able to completely deform your character. Skinny, large, muscle, vein, freckled, everything in between. You're able to pick a hairstyle, actually tease that out, you can make it short, whichever one you want to do. Facial structure, eyes, lips, the whole gamut of array of options.
Awesome. I've seen a lot of crazy people in the game. Could I make someone who looks kind of plain and boring?
Absolutely. I tend to make that. I'm not big into the whole creation of all the images and symbols, so my guy generally looks like, if it's an enforcement, it looks like some sort of corporate guy. If it's a criminal, just your normal kind of wise guy.
I figure I'll stand out from the rest if I just look normal.
I'll tell you, they're the ones that get away with everything because nobody suspects them. When
Absolutely.
you look normal, you can get away with everything.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go to the next section.
Okay.
So what we saw at GDC a while ago, what I've been seeing a lot, we saw some robberies, saw people busting into storefronts.
Right.
So you can give me a few examples of some of the crimes that are going to occur.
Okay, so as a criminal, you can go in, you can do very simple crimes like basically holding up civilians, stealing cars, those types of things, and you build up towards much bigger, grandiose things, robbing a bank, blowing up an important building, setting fire to intimidate someone so they won't testify against you, all those types of things. So it's a whole range of criminal activity. On the enforcement side, they're there to protect the city. So they have their own types of activities such as escorting, things like that, as well as protecting different areas of the city, as well as patrolling and witnessing crimes to make sure they don't keep happening.
Cool, so pretty much leveling up your character means you gain access to these bigger events.
Right, so we don't level up in the traditional fashion. We don't have any arbitrary statistics, no level 1s, level 60s. We want everyone to play together, so it's all about player skill, both on the creativity side and the conflict side.
Gotcha, so it's sort of like more an action game, and your skill dictates the bigger events that you have access to.
It is absolutely an online action game. It's much more about player skill. There is some functional progression as well as cosmetic progression, but it's really about the player skill more than anything else.
So I've got a quick question. In regards to like the importance level between the actual missions and things of that nature versus gaining your fame. I mean, once you gain your fame, what is the point of gaining it, I guess, other than just being awesome?
Well, I mean, we're talking about a community of tens of thousands of people, so you're famous in the community. It's just like in real life.
I mean, like, does it help you like attract? Is there a thing out there that says all of a sudden, like, this person's numero uno, bad guy list, let's all go attack?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. As you're playing the game in the district itself, you can go in, and as you build up that success, we'll throw the whole district at you if you get too far out of line.
Ah,
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So when you think of MMO, and we've had that, associated with this game for a while, a lot of constructs come to mind. People think of Warcraft immediately. They think of stats. So maybe you can explain to us a little bit
Sometimes they think of Hello Kitty Online.
Sometimes they think of Hello Kitty.
Just throwing that out there.
But how can you explain to us how this is different from that? Because it's not traditional questing structure, is
Right.
it? Yeah.
So the idea is we're completely player driven. You can either go in and have these open world activities where you're going in and doing your own thing, deciding exactly what you're going to do, or you can pledge the personalities that exist in the world. So you go and you meet, like, for example, Zombie, who's the big skater guy, as a criminal leader. You go in and pledge with him and he tells you what to do, but if you don't want to listen to what he wants you to do, you can just go do your own thing.
That's pretty cool. It's a lot of freedom.
I'm a big lone wolfer. I hate the fact that one of my biggest complaints in MMOs is that I feel like I'm forced to group with others, and I don't necessarily want to do that. Does that ever come into play where it's like you finally get to a level where you just have to go out and like mission up with people?
No way. No.
You can go all the way through.
Yes. So the way the matchmaking works is you go in, you pick what you want to do, and if you're by yourself, we're going to find a challenge for you. So if you're really good at the game, that may be 4 people against you, it may be 10 people against you, it may just be one really good player against you. So you can play the game by yourself, with your friends, or with your whole army.
And so then, because you said it's so open world, it's like the leveling system's not necessarily traditional.
Right.
You've got weaker players at that point, and then you've got higher players. if you guys did want to group together and all play, do they drag you behind? Are these guys too far ahead? It's all like, how do you balance it out?
So basically, since it's all about the player's skill and it's about success, if you have weaker players combined with more skilled players, they actually complement each other. So we find a match for that whole composite rather than each individual player.
Okay, so there's not like pseudo power leveling going on.
No.
Nice. All right. Well, we're kind of wrapping up. I'm getting the signal.
Uh-oh.
Anything that we didn't touch upon? Any more Hello Kitty online references, which I am still going to get you for later.
So the biggest thing I want to get across is we also have this kind of creativity crafting system, but it's all player driven and it's all about player skill, just like the action game. It's someone's artistic skill is just as important in the game if that's what they want to do as their ability to play the action game.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm really excited for this game. It looks great. Thanks, guys. MMO fans should definitely keep their eyes peeled for this one. Stay tuned. We'll be back with a look at the highly anticipated God of War 3 from the E3 show floor.